Hey guys, so this recording I made, it's not on my camera. I thought it had been uploaded to TikTok. I didn't delete it from my camera, but I put the caption, description, and So now to give you guys some. Sorry, I was just getting the water down. What's that word? Not concept. Not understanding, but like a description of the situation. Context. Sorry. Now to give you guys some context, it took me 15 to 20 minutes to replenish my energy enough to get out of the car, come in here. I'd done my groceries. It took me another 10 minutes while I was just sitting there replenishing my energy to do a TikTok. Then I did that 10-minute TikTok, and I don't know what's happened to it. It may show up later, might not, because sometimes that happens, but that obviously is like, must have gone into the drafts, or because sometimes I go off of TikTok and then go back on it like an hour later or something like that, or 20 minutes later to see what's happened with it, and it's appeared. So I've had all this time to replenish my energy. Example of autism and ADHD. And so what has happened is, like, I reckon that, like, because I had like really high goals of like I was going to be like an All Black, I was going to be this and that. So the importance of having achievable goals, because otherwise you can achieve all these things and you're going hard out and you don't even realize the value of it because you're not an All Black. You just you couldn't even get to represent Hawke's Bay or Auckland, depending what time. But you won a couple of regional championships. There's 16 clubs in Hawke's Bay, but there's like West Auckland, South, North, and the whole of Auckland. You made it all the way to you won the West Auckland Championship, which had at the time was 10 clubs, 10, 11 clubs in just the West, and then you got the South, East, North, and so with someone with autism and ADHD, and trust me, I've really recuperated my energy levels. Haven't even had one beer. Beer is another thing that relaxes me, but I also know if you have too much of it, it's going to zap your energy. But I've seen multiple times before, I've always been a happy and relaxed drunk. Except for I don't get drunk, but when I used to as an adult, I was happy and relaxed. And when I was the very rare occasion, because I didn't have I had 2 beers on Christmas, and that was it up until I was 19, and then it was just like a couple after the game each week. And then it wasn't until later on. It was just I got bored and all this type of thing, so I'll go up to the local bar, and then obviously there was the regulars. And there was always regulars that were around my age, and I just find out whatever sport they played, and if we had a hobby, an interest in or a belief in common, and it was the interest and the belief in common, and then whatever drink we were drinking, beer or RTD. So it was for social stuff, But here's the thing, if you've really pushed yourself to the max and you won a couple of championships, or you're playing at club level and you're always up there, and you got autism and you got ADHD, then you should do what I do and pat yourself on the back or on the shoulder. So reach over. There you go. That's my reach. Flexibility is another thing. So try. If you get to that level where you're up there and competing and you never quit and you're at your absolute best and you have autism or you have ADHD, you should do what I do now. And not be so hard on yourself because you didn't make the regional teams to go win the nationals, and you don't be so hard that you didn't make the All Blacks or play Super Rugby. Unless you did. There might be someone. But we're mostly known for maths, computer science, and other creative things like music and things like that as well. Because it's a very, very, very slim success rate. Like to be labelled successful, you're probably talking about 5% of the population who do those things. And those 5% are successful because they're getting regular gigs. And then you probably got 1% that's actually able to pay the bills doing it, right? There's probably like 1 in 1,000 that are actually able to live comfortably doing that stuff. And, like the mega stars, they're probably 1 in every 10,000. But those who are able to just scrape by, just pay the bills, just by doing those things I said, math, science, and music and other performing arts, because those are my skills and goals. You're probably looking at 1 in 100, and probably got 1 in 1,000 that could pay the bills and not have to worry about, they can pay the bills and be set up for things like how I am now financially. It's probably 1 in 1,000 if it's just that stuff alone. But if they're doing that as well as work, Now, my phone is on 7%. Typically, I was showing typical autism ADHD thing and getting distracted. Actually, that's more of an ADHD thing. But still, it shows my character. It shows what I was thinking. Let's talk about AEW. The importance of, for MJ, okay, I'm going to say less than 2 minutes left. So for MJF, everything he does, right, it's sometimes I feel like doing that to people and I understand where he comes from and I have the exact same opinion. But you're not in the position to because you don't have the money to do it or something. And not only that, it's a show, right? So it's a character. And it helps put over the other performers so they can make a ton of money as well. Because, for example, Eddie Kingston is a mid-card person on AEW and he's earning $6,000 a week. It was 8,000. Now it was a few months ago I checked too. And so MJF is you can get it out that way so that when you find yourself in the position of earning double the amount of the average person. I'd say that because it was always the average workers that was on my case when I was unemployed, telling me that I was inferior to them, rah-de-rah, wasn't nothing, wasn't, all this type of thing. It was all the CEOs and the managers were never doing that, and then they even got harder on my ass when I got full-time employment, all the average workers. But again, it wasn't the CEOs or the managers. So that's why my goals are get double the amount as the average person. So my phone is on 6% now, but my charger is right here. So I'm going to do another recording in a minute. Hopefully TikTok lets this one up. I mean, maybe. I don't know what's happening. And after that little recording, my goals for tonight, Read a chapter of the Apocrypha.